licensed acupuncturist, and I have an acupuncture and herbal medicine clinic up in Flagstaff, Arizona. And we are a acupuncture clinic that focuses on treating veterans and also GU syndrome, which is the idea of a hidden pathogen stuck inside the body. I graduated from Boulder, Colorado at Southwest Acupuncture College, and we moved to Flagstaff in January of 2017 and opened our clinic, me and my husband, in February of 2017.
So what were you feeling most frustrated with before the 4 weeks to new hire program?
Well, I had previously hired an acupuncturist, and I went through the whole interview process and hired her, and it did not end up working out. And I felt a lot of that was my own responsibility. And it was not a good experience. And I just said, you know what, I do not want for this to happen again. So I need to figure out how to do this in a better way and improve this process. I've never hired people before. You don't get taught that in acupuncture school. So I knew I needed some help in that area.
And what was happening in your practice back then? Like, what was most frustrating for you that made you want to hire someone?
Well, I was actually pregnant and ready to go into maternity leave was actually the initial reason. And our acupuncture clinic is our family's only source of income. And so we can't just close down the clinic to have a baby. So we said, well, we're going to actually have to hire an acupuncturist to keep this clinic running so that we do have money coming in so that I can take some time off for the baby.
And what was the turning point moment when you decided, all right, I need to do something about this?
Oh, it was just frustration after frustration. And despite, I guess the acupuncturist not meeting my expectations, even though I felt like I was making those clear, get somebody that was a better fit, that was actually going to help our clinic have the image and the quality of care that we were really aiming to provide.
Before you had decided to be a part of the 4 weeks to new hire program, how long were you looking for someone for?
Oh my goodness, let's see.
July, yeah, something.
Between 3 and 4 months, I had an active ad out looking for another acupuncturist. Oh my goodness, probably about $700 to $800 just on ads alone, trying to find another acupuncturist.
What were you feeling as you decided to take this leap for yourself and be a part of the 4 weeks to new hire program? Any hesitation?
Oh yeah, in the beginning I was like, oh, I don't know, it's something new. I really felt like I needed the help, but I wasn't sure, if it was going to be worth it to actually, yeah.
What made you decide to pull the trigger?
I didn't want to repeat my same mistakes. I wanted to improve myself and the clinic. So, I didn't do it very well on my own the first time. So I figured, well, I need to change and make a different choice this time to get a different result.
What's shifted since you've been a part of that 4 weeks to new hire program? What's opened up for you?
So much. It was 100% worth it. And I learned so much through this 4 weeks to a new hire program. First of all, the systems that were in place actually helped me really focus on what it was that I actually wanted. And through using those systems that you put in place, I was actually able to attract a person that was the perfect fit. And it actually saved me so much time as well in the process, and actually saved me a lot of money too, because I ended up spending a lot less money in going through your systematic approach, putting ads in the areas that you recommended. And I ended up saving a lot of money and found the perfect hire. Actually, twice. I did it with an acupuncturist, and I used your system to hire a second receptionist as well. So I went through your system twice, and it was very successful both times.
Awesome. What did you like most about the hiring program?
Oh, I mean, a lot of it. Every week I felt like there was a gem um, of wisdom in every class that you taught. I learned a lot, actually, way more than what I thought I was going to, and I ended up learning a lot more about my practice and myself, on top of learning how to get the right hire too. So it was so multifaceted in many different ways. So I feel like I didn't just get the perfect hire. I actually learned more about myself. I learned more about my clinic operations as a whole. Just the whole clinic improved because of it. And my life improved because of it. I am now going to have more time to be with my family, and also have money coming in, even while I'm away, which is huge. And it's affected my life because if I get to have more time with my kids, I'm not missing them grow up, and more time with my husband. And actually, uh, having the perfect hire just makes your clinic grow as well, and the quality that you want it to grow towards as well, which is so important. The templates and scripts were huge. So helpful. It felt like it took a lot of the work out of my work. So, because I was already so busy, I was worried, oh, how am I going to have the time to do this? But with the templates that you provided, I was just able to really, get everything done quickly, have a draft to start off with, and then just change it where I needed to. It was really helpful. And yeah, it just took so much time out of my hands.
What was it like to be a part of this with other practitioners?
Oh, it was wonderful to be with other practitioners. It's good. It's always nice to know you're not the only one going through something, and then also to be able to have a place to talk about what you're going through, gather ideas, what's worked for other people, what hasn't. There's so much in hiring. How should you pay somebody, and what have other people done, and does that work? Does it not? So it was wonderful.
What would you say to someone who might be in the place where they're afraid of hiring someone because they don't want to have to manage anyone? Or maybe they had a bad experience with hiring before, right? Like, let's talk about the
Right.
first scenario with first. Like, what would you say to someone who is thinking, it would be nice to be able to have someone see my patients, but then it just seems like too much hassle. Maybe I should just still be practicing myself. Like, what would you say to someone like that?
I would say to somebody that the benefits of having the right hire much outweigh not having anybody at all, or managing somebody, because anybody can manage, but you just have to learn how to do it. It doesn't come natural for a lot of people, including myself. So, you just need to learn how to do it. And if you are able to in an effective way, and, the benefits of having a hire are exponential.
What would you say to someone who might have had a bad experience? Because I know you mentioned you had didn't have as good
Yeah.
of experience as you would have liked. So what would you say to someone who might be in that situation and feel like, okay, I have a bad taste in my mouth. I don't think I want to do this again,
Yeah.
go through this.
I would say it took me actually quite a while to recover from my bad experience of having an employee that just was not a good fit. And I would say that it doesn't have to be the same, but you have to also change what you did so that you don't repeat your same experience, and learn from what you did, and learn from somebody that has gone through it and knows how to uh, get the best employee possible, because it's about having the right hire, not just a hire. The hiring process isn't just about getting a employee or getting a hire. It's so much more than that, and more than just even what appears in this physical world. I mean, our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, everything goes into, what is currently manifesting in our present reality. And so in order to really change that, you have to look at all of those perspectives. And all humans need guidance. We just do. So just allow yourself to have guidance. I have not done really any business training in the past. And so this was a wonderful starting point, and I probably don't feel like I need any other business training now because I'll just use you.
What made you decide to take the leap to be a part of the mastermind?
Well, I took the leap to be a part of the mastermind because I did get so much benefit out of the 4 weeks to a new hire program. So I just said, well, wow, look how much has changed with that in just 4 weeks. What else could I potentially be doing? Yeah.
Awesome. What's your vision for your practice at this point?
My vision for my practice is to have a really high quality holistic health center where people can come and really feel cared about, um, and heal in an environment that is thriving for them.
Yeah, tell everybody a little bit about your experience prior to being an acupuncturist as well.
Oh, I was a nurse, an RN for 9 years. And so that was really what made me say, there's a lot more that I could be doing to help these people actually get down to the root cause and make positive changes in their life, and not just give medications or, cover symptoms with Band-Aids. And it was a real eye opener. And so, it just made me realize I wanted to go more deep and help people in a larger way.
Tell us a little bit about your different service offerings and how much you charge.
I have an initial acupuncture treatment, which is $150. And then I have a follow-up acupuncture treatment, which is $90. And then we also brought on she's a doctor of Oriental medicine, Dr. Sarika, and she actually does more functional medicine intakes. So labs and all of this, and offering true cellular detoxification programs for people, which also works well with parasites, as most people with parasites have heavy metals and vice versa. So she works to clear heavy metals and toxins from a cellular level out of their body. And so I've been starting to work with her as well, and really trying to create a health center that is focused on detoxing and this goose syndrome, and just a safe place to heal in a very, very deep way.
What got you interested in working with the VA and veterans?
Oh, well, that just kind of fell into my lap in a unexpected way. And it was just something that was available, and I went for it, and I didn't even realize in the beginning what I was getting into. And it's just an amazing experience on both my part and the patient's part too, from what the feedback I get. And they comprise about 60% of our patients in the clinic, actually. And they have so much going on health-wise, and there is no time for them in the VA Western healthcare setting. And so I've become really a second pair of eyes for their primary care physicians. I've sent many people, I've caught a lot of red flags, sent many people to the emergency room, urgent care, had to call the ambulance, but just really sitting down with them, explaining to them what's going on with their health, and then really giving them tangible goals to get healthier through acupuncture, herbs, nutrition, lifestyle advice, and all of those things to really help with getting off narcotics and helping with their pain and their whole body.
That's awesome. The VA, it's definitely benefiting a lot from acupuncture. So
Yeah.
yeah, patients being able to have access to it. So
Yeah.
especially with the opioid um, it crisis. So
Yeah, exactly.
what have you enjoyed most about your first mastermind year so far?
What I've enjoyed most is being forced to look at all aspects of my life, and really contemplate and figure out what needs to be changed. Having people actually look at what my goals are and have accountability for them so that I actually complete them. And realizing that I could actually be doing a lot more in this world than what I thought I could be. Uh, I guess just living to my full potential and having the structures and systems to do that.
Yes, because you have I love your vision, and I think that and in your interim vision of as far as helping more people with the goose syndrome, would you like to talk a little bit about that too? What's inspiring you to be interested in that and helping people with that? And what is it?
Well, so goose syndrome, Dr. Heiner Frukoff from Classical Pearls, he has been my main teacher in treating goose syndrome. And goose syndrome is any hidden pathogen that's stuck inside the body that is difficult to treat, diagnose, and get out of the body. So that can be a virus, a bacteria, or a parasite. And so I've been mostly focusing on parasites. And that is because of my own parasite experience. And I had parasites myself, and it was really hard to get rid of. It was, I mean, anxiety provoking, depressing. I mean, you just don't want to tell anybody about it because you feel like, oh, no one's even going to want to be around me if they know I have parasites. And to be honest, I was like, oh my gosh, I just have to get rid of this. I'm going to go the Western route and just get a quick fix and get this over with and get this out. And it actually made me really sick, and it did not work. And that's what made me really go deeper into the Chinese medicine route, because I was, oh wait, I'm a Chinese medicine practitioner. Like, I should actually be able to treat this. And I just went deep. I studied for hours, and not only was that effective to get rid of my parasites, I actually ended up being so much healthier than what I was before at the end of the process. So I realized, oh my goodness, like Dr. Heiner Frukoff's work, it has to get out into the world because it can treat all of these different parasites, and it can treat a person in a way where they actually end up healthier on the other end, not worse, or make the parasites go deeper into the body like what can happen in the Western route.
That's really awesome because for one, it's not one of those easily figure it out kind of things, right? Then to treat it well, and then to be able to also come out the other end even healthier. And a lot of people don't know about it. So I think it's fantastic that you're making this something that's really important to you to get the word out about and making it available at your clinic. So, what was it like as far as in your first mastermind year? What was it like to map out your plan for the year and also having that 10x plan idea in place as well, while we mapped it out?
Yeah, to map out, well, even actually to first think of what's my 10x vision, that alone was very eye-opening. And I guess I never really thought in the direction that you had us think. And it really opened up worlds of possibility that I didn't even think to go down. So I just appreciate how you think and the systems you have in place. I mean, it's been really transformative, and I know that I'm going to go to places that I never would have even thought of before.
Awesome. Yeah, so the 10x plan, for those of you who might be new to the idea, is this idea of how many times as acupuncturists, as practitioners, we often look at, well, how can we double the practice and perhaps help more people that way, and then look at doubling because that seems like might be a good number, right, to look at, whether it's doubling the practice, doubling income. But the challenge is looking at that from a perspective of a rear view mirror of where we, came from instead of where you want to go. And it could feel really challenging because what got you here isn't necessarily what's going to get you to where you want to go. So it can feel like a struggle to look at doubling. Whereas if we actually look at growing the practice from a 10x perspective, if we were to 10 times it? What if we were to 10 times the impact, 10 times the flexibility, 10 times the freedom, 10 times the people we're helping, right? 10 times the income, and then work your way backwards into a doubling plan, then everything becomes easier because you're no longer growing the practice from the rear view mirror, but instead where you want to go. But then what is the 10x plan, right? And then what is the also step-by-step plan? So those were things that we looked at mapping out for your first mastermind year. What was it like to come to, so far you've been to one of our mastermind retreats. What was that like for you?
Oh, I mean, that was amazing. I feel like it was an entire semester of college kind of smashed into a weekend, and felt productive and also inspiring. And I got a lot done and a lot planned, and it was really a place that I was able to sit down, figure out my goals, and then when I went home, I just had a lot of motivation to take off from there and stay on my plan.
Awesome. What would you say experience has been like for you as an introvert?
It's a very contemplative experience in that you have to go inwards a lot as well and find your own blocks and where you sabotaging yourself really, and what do I need to do to get past that, and then on a more physical level, what do I need to do to just get to where I want to be, in a way, and not just where you want to get to be, but in a way that is takes the least amount of time and the least amount of effort, really.
What would you say is a pearl through your journey of practicing and growing? Because you got to this level of practice where you're busy, right, with
Yeah.
patients. So which is something you should be really proud of. And now it's like new problems, right? How do I
Yeah.
expand and really help people with my vision and mission? So, what's a pearl that you'd like to share with our listeners, anyone who's watching, about something that helped with, for example, getting busier with patients?
I'd say it's just so essential to actually love what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not going to, your heart's not going to be there, and it just shows in your daily practice. And every morning when you come into the clinic, you have to want to be there. So just loving what you do so that it comes through and it comes from a heart-centered place. And I think another pearl of wisdom, not necessarily with getting more patients, but that I think is important, is just realizing that you're never, ever going to get it all done. And so just prioritizing what you need to do is, I think, really essential. And basically learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, especially if you're uncomfortable with never having everything done.
I love that you share that, because that's something that as entrepreneurs we'll always likely have something we want to manifest, right?
Yeah.
So if you knew then what you know now, what advice would you give?
I would say you can't do this alone. We're not meant to be isolative individual creatures. We're meant to be community. And I actually think that is what is lacking in our society today, is community. So don't think that you can build, nor should you have to, build a practice all by yourself. You're not in this alone, nor should you be. And there's a lot of support and help out there. You just need to ask for it.
So happy that you've found some great hires here And you've got some awesome things coming up here with putting new things in place within your practice, and also getting the word out more about helping people with the parasites, and then having more access to functional medicine in your practice as well, while still continuing to help more people through acupuncture and herbs and still being a mom, right? Well, thank you so much again for being here with us today and being an inspiration.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate all your work in the world.
Thank you. And for those of you watching this, if you'd like help with your practice because you're feeling like you're at a plateau and would like just see so much more for yourself than what you're experiencing right now, whether it's with patient flow or income wise, then feel free to go to introvertedvisionary.com. So it's introvertedvisionary.com, and then book a chat with us and see how we can help you. So thank you again, Brittany.
Thank you so much.